Welcome to the Michigan Golfer Show. Join us each week as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great game.
Joe, this isn't your first time in Michigan. 1991. You remember you were with Tom Doak and DeVries up at Black Forest?
Black Forest, yes.
What was that like then?
Well, I had the worst mustache in golf at that time. I think was really, we actually, Tracy, my wife and I, we spent 2 tours up in northern Michigan. When I was in school, we worked at High Point and lived in Traverse City, right behind a Kentucky Fried Chicken. I can still smell that to this day in age, in a great spot. And then we were in Gaylord, working at Black Forest. I think it's fun now to look back on projects like that. I think Long Cove in South Carolina, where Pete Dye had Bill Coor, Bobby Wheat, Tom Doak, P.B. Dye. All these guys were on the crew there, and I think at some point in time, maybe somebody will look back in history and say, "Oh, wasn't that a pretty special time that Tom Doak, Gil Hanse, and Mike DeVries all working together on one project?" And the dynamics of it were great. I learned a ton from Tom. Obviously, he worked for Pete Dye, so everything kind of stems from that tree. But that's where I actually learned to run a bulldozer, was at Black Forest. There was an old guy up there who taught me how to do it, and I spent almost the entire summer on it. I was on one this morning before I had to go set up on my second shower today. I had to go clean up. So I think that's part of that project is obviously something that stayed with me for almost 30 years now. And as long as my body allows me to keep doing it, I'm just going to keep climbing into that seat. And one thing that guy told me, and I still do it to this day, and I tell every single guy that works with us, he said, "You put your seatbelt on. You get in that machine. All these guys out here want to be tough and macho, etc. Get your seatbelt and put it on." He said, "I've seen some of the best operators come out of their seats. Every single day I get in a bulldozer, even with a full cab or the whole deal, I still put on that seatbelt." So it's a very valuable lesson.
What's it like to lose, Tom's first course was High Point, that's closed, and Black Forest is closed. What's it?
It's difficult. Since I've moved on from Tom, which has been a long time, we've had 2 golf courses of ours close, and I think part of the process that Tom taught me and that Pete taught Tom is that each golf course is an intensely personal experience because you're there so much and you're physically in the dirt. You're getting, it's not like we're just showing up every couple weeks and waving and then leaving. And I think anytime something like that happens, that you'd like to think it's not because you built a bad golf course. You'd like to, most of the time it's financial reasons. It hurts. I'm sure Tom's had, it's probably more personal to him than it was to me, but it certainly is not something you ever want to see happen to something you've spent a ton of time doing.
Well, you've spent time doing some writing too. Golf Digest a couple of years ago. You have the best website that I've ever seen in golf.
Well, my daughter does the website, so I'll give her credit for that.
And a long piece that you did in just talking about your whole background, everything you've done, every place you've been.
I paid attention in class when I was at Cornell, so I was very lucky. That, I think that's one of the things that Tom taught me is, Tom's a great writer. He started off writing.
Right.
Obviously worked for Golf Magazine early on, and I think it's having the ability to communicate is critical to what we do. At the end of the day, we're trying to sell a concept and an idea, and if you can't communicate that effectively, whether it's through writing or through speaking, you're going to have a much more difficult time doing that.
Well, you've done a great job here. This place used to, back when Cadillacs had fins and they had a Corvette that had a big engine on it, and those things are gone, and look at what's happened here.
Thank you, I appreciate
the
that.
fins are gone, and so is the Corvette.
Thank you.